Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today another generous donation, this time from one of the subscribers and members, and it's Darren Howie, and Darren is down in Queensland. He's in Cairns, I beg your pardon. He's in Cairns, so he's not far from Tony Martin. They must almost be neighbours. Well, I say that, Australia's very big, isn't it? Okay, even Cairns is pretty big, I think. But he saw Tony Martin send me that, what was the kit he sent me? The SAM, the Repu, the successor to the Zero from Fine Moulds. And he said, I'll tell you what, mate, I think you should see the actual Zero from Fine Moulds, which is really great. Anyway, he sent me a note here. So it says in true fashion, it says, "G'day, Pete. Hope you enjoy this second Fine Moulds kit. It's a stunning one with incredible engineering. Thanks for the entertainment and history. Regards, Darren and Kamla Howie." I think it's Kamla. And Cairns, and he says, aka Scare Bus Driver on YouTube. So if you see Scare Bus Driver, that's Darren. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into this then. So I was very impressed with the Fine Moulds quality product, actually, and this is the proper carrier-borne Zero Pearl Harbor nasty. Although I just want to say it hasn't got a lot of armour plating on this one, I don't think, unlike the other one, because this is the one where they learn the hard lessons. Anyway, so it's kit number, it's FZ03, and this one is 48th scale. Yeah, the other one was 48th, wasn't it? 48 scale kit. Very nice. Good size for this as well. Now remember, I built the Zero from Edward. Now, it wasn't terrible, but I was a bit underwhelmed by it. You know, everyone was raving about how fantastic it was. I had some issues with it. Nothing major, just niggles, and those bloody decals, which I had to replace by getting them from TechMod in the end. Anyway, we won't have that problem here, I don't think. Now, what have we got on the side here? Something interesting. Oh, it's mentioning you can get... There's a seatbelt set. Oh, but it's not included. It's sold separately, and a gun set. Oh, it's like, look at what you could have won. Oh, we didn't get that, did we? Never mind. On the other side, oh, look at the way they've shown this, like an exploded view of how it... That's very interesting. That's a different way of doing it. And it shows... Oh, it looks like the glass builds up internally against the framework. Oh, it looks complicated, doesn't it? It looks very detailed. This is going to be really interesting. Right then. Well, without further ado, let's get cracking. It comes without any sort of tape on it or anything, so you can just open these Fine Moulds kits straight away, which I will do. Let's have a look. A nice bubble wrap. Some decals, much better than our friends at Edward have done, I think. Yeah, there's a bit of everything. Oh, okay. So it looks like there's two options for the... There's two options for doing the canopy. There's actually, like I said, there's this internal glazing, and obviously it's going to go on a frame, and then there's just a conventional one you can have. Interesting. Let's get it all out and see what we got. So thanks again to Darren. It's very generous of him to send it. How much did this cost? The postage, you know, the shipping from Australia can't be cheap. I've got the box here. How much does this cost him? Something outrageous, I bet. He says the value is $5 Australian. That's about right, I suppose. Is it? Sounds cheap though, doesn't it, actually? Yeah, it does sound cheap. Does it say how much he's had to pay for this? Because it's not cheap. It's usually about $30 or $40 plus. Sometimes a lot more. Oh, it's here, sorry. Can't look, see. Basically, $49.90. $50 Australian. Ouch! Yes. This is the problem, you know, I've got members in Australia, and I've said when I do these rewards for the members, the member pays for the shipping. Oof, ouch, you know. Yes, anyway, let's have a look at this without any further ado. Let's see what we got. So, the only downside of Fine Moulds, as we saw before, they're quite good at giving you a bit of an explanation, usually on the outside. Oh yes, which I've missed. Let's just go back. Ahead of ourselves. It says the Imperial Japanese Navy's Zero A6M5 Model 52, also known as the Model 52A, was a modified variant of the original Model 52, where the drum-fed 100 rounds capacity of each 20mm cannon in the main wing were exchanged with belt-fed 125 round capacity. Okay, doesn't sound like a huge reason to change it, does it? Perhaps they jammed or something. Furthermore, all the Model K 52 KO Zeros manufactured by Mitsubishi had small heat shields added immediately behind the thrust, adding non-separated exhaust stacks. Oh, a unique characteristic for the manufacturer. Heat shields added immediately behind the thrust adding. So they've got these. Oh yeah, there's like a lump. You see it. There's like a lump. Obviously they were melting. Sounds like they were the exhaust were melting the bodywork basically of the fuselage. It doesn't sound too cool, does it? Okay, that's interesting. So it's a late model Zero then. Ah, now I was just about to say the trouble with fine molds is they never give us any history apart from what's on the box, but they have this time. Look at this. This time they've added it in English. It's like they've been listening to me. Well, they can't have changed their production in just like a week or two. So obviously somebody else has complained. So I'll read it to you, and it says basically the A6M5 Model 52. Yeah. Okay, so it made its appearance in the summer of 1943 to counter the threat posed by the American P-38 Lightning. That was a nasty, really impressive plane in the right hands though, they're tricky to fly, I believe. The 204th Naval Air Group, locked in bitter combat over the skies of New Guinea and Rabaul, sought a new fighter, and thus the 52 version of the Zero was dispatched to meet their needs. While the total wingspan was reduced to from 12 metres to 11 metres, was it? Okay. That's to give it a better turn rate, I guess. The rounded wingtips were not changed in an attempt to maintain its high manoeuvrability, and the adoption of thrust adding non-separated exhaust stacks. Non-separated exhaust stacks. We'll come to that in a second. I'm going to have to let me just show you the actual artwork. So they call it what? Thrust adding non-separated exhaust stacks. So what they're trying to do, I think, is use aerodynamics from the exhaust. This is like the blown exhaust that we had in Formula 1. 2010, 2011, I think it was. 2011. And then these blown exhausts which are creating, basically creating some thrust and therefore downforce. You can see it there, can't you? Here. And they've got these heat shields directly behind them that they obviously had to add. It hoped to grant some degree of rocket engine-like acceleration. Good lord. Huh? The Model 52 was lighter than the Model 22 in both empty and gross weight, and its maximum speed was faster as well. Why have I got green screen? I do beg your pardon. Sorry about that. I think I went the wrong way with my zoom. Sorry folks. It says the 52 model, Type 0, was the variant that adapted the belt feed mechanism for the 20mm cannons inside the main wings, instead of the prior drum-fed 100 round magazines. This modification was accompanied with increasing windskin that was 0.2mm thicker, and thus, with its improved main wing structural integrity, the never exceed speed was raised to 740 kilometres. What's that? 450 miles an hour, is it? Thereabouts. Production at Mitsubishi started in March of 44, and while the exact production numbers are not clear, it's believed that roughly 400 units were completed by July. The 20mm cannons were highly regarded as being way more effective than the 7.7mm guns, but its original low capacity of 60 rounds per minute led pilots to quickly run out of ammunition during combat, and this limitation was heavily criticised. A 100 round magazine was later adopted, but this weight meant rearming the aircraft was more difficult. Don't say why. Research by the Imperial Japanese Navy to design a belt-fed mechanism started in October 41, but the unique mechanism of the original gun was so difficult that even Oerlikon, the company that the Japanese licensed from, failed to successfully design a belt-fed system at the time. So Oerlikon, they're a Swedish company, aren't they? They were actually supplying the Japanese. Really? any Swedes amongst you, bow your head in shame. But anyway, it's just surprising that. I thought there'd be embargo, but anyway. Sweden was neutral though, weren't they? Ah, yes, that's the reason. Yeah. Anyway, it was therefore difficult to achieve the desired design in Japan. A prototype was completed by September 1942, and the trials on the ground conducted in December. Aerial trials started, therefore, in January 43, and by May, the new gun was completed. Various improvements were made to counter the various G-forces that arise from aerial flight and combat. Because the belt-fed versions of the cannon was to be adopted to numerous warplanes, the developers were working in a pressure cooker environment. So a lot of pressure to get it done, you know. With the trials over, it was officially adopted as the Type 99 Mark II. Number 2, Mark IV, a lot of names, isn't it? Mark IV 20mm cannon, and production began in the Toyokawa Naval Arsenal in Aichi Prefecture, and mass production examples started to become available after October 1943. That's a very good write-up, actually. 10 out of 10 for the write-up. 5 mils, that's much better than the other kit. Right. I need a drink. Let's have a look then. Oh, you quit yawn. Excuse me. Right. So, we get sprue map. How to use the decals. No, you don't need to remove any top film nonsense here. It also mentions about, look at what you could have won if you'd actually only bought the additional optional extras. And then we've got the main instructions, which are as follows. I'm feeling this is going to be quite detailed. So we've got all the instrumentation, and it looks like we've got decals going on. Yeah, we've got decals for the instruments, so that should make them nice and detailed. Building up the instrument panel itself, and then also the back of it, which is where the guns are going to be fitted, of course. The front of it rather than the back of it, I should say. Then you've got all your pedals going in for your rudder pedals going in here. You've got your main stick for the pilot here. Then you're going to build up. This is where have we got any armour plating? No, we haven't. So the lesson had not been learned still at this point in the war. Bit strange that the Japanese didn't. I know they were trying to save weight, but it seems like they were faffing around with other things. The first order of duty is to protect your pilot, isn't it? Really. Anyway, it's gone on there. I think that's the seat adjuster, isn't it? And then you've got the reference photo here to show you, or illustration I should say, to show how it all goes together. Looks like it's got a fire extinguisher. Is that a fire extinguisher? No, it's an oxygen bottle, I think, just behind the pilot. And then you've got to build up quite a detailed cockpit here. You've got to remove those ejector pin lugs, the nubs that are put on to avoid the ejector pins that we've seen in other kits. And then you've got to build in all of this detail that goes into the sidewall of the cockpit, and there's a lot of instruments and controls going in there. So it's not like Qatari where it's all built in already. With this one, you've got to add it. Here's your machine gun. It is the machine guns, isn't it? Not the cannons. Yeah, it's the machine guns on the top, the cannons on the wing, I think. Building all that up. They're going into good detail here and giving you some English, explaining what the colours should be, so that's quite helpful. Yeah, they've done that well. In fact, they're very clear, the instructions. I do quite like the instructions. Very good. Then you get your wings building up with your bays for the wheels. And over here we've got the gun bay. Gun bay? Yeah. Gun bay covers going in. And then you've got your flaps being built up there. Ailerons going on here, bringing in the main body for the forward fuselage with the cockpit. So it's broken down into like a unitary construction where you've got this separate unit for the actual cockpit. I hope there's not a nasty joint on this. Then you've got your, unitary again. You've got a unitary tail and another unitary piece at the back of the very tail cone, which is where the rudder and the vertical tail goes in. And then we've got our wings bringing in that unit. I hope there's not going to be any nasty joints. I hope the fits are good. People tell me that 5 mils are quite good at this though. very precise, so let's hope so. Bringing that in, and then you've got painting advice, putting in your flaps, actually going in here, putting in your horizontal stabilisers and elevators. Then we get to the engine, building up the cylinders, and you get your magnetos and the front of the engine here, the outer ring, the push rod ring, exhaust system at the back, the piping for the exhausts, ultimately going out to the actual exhaust pipes themselves. What do they call them? Thrust creating exhaust, they call them. And here they are. So this is what they call it, jet-like propulsion. a bit optimistic, but yeah, it gives a bit of thrust, obviously. Then we've got the main gear coming in here, building up your legs and you putting your wheels and tyres on. Looks like there's a polycap. Is it polycap? No, you just don't. Oh, okay. So you don't glue the wheel, you glue the hub, not the wheel to the hub, and so it can rotate, which is cool. And then you've got your intake coming in here, and also the inner landing gear covers, doors, and then you've got drop tank gears actually going in. How great detail again, showing you how it should be angled for reference, very useful. You've got your tail gear going on, gun sight going on here, two different options on the gun sight, I think, is it? No, sorry, it's just the way they've illustrated it. It's like a little bit unclear. It's a close-up and then showing where it goes. And then you've got the aerial post here, and then we get into this rather interesting setup. So you've got this framework. First starts with the frame, where you put the glass inside the frame, or closed canopy only. You actually just have it all pre-made in the normal way. So you just mask it off. But of course this means you don't have to mask, because you just spray your actual frame separately and then add your glasswork. Well, be very careful gluing this in, because you don't want to get any glue anywhere. That looks tricky to me, I've got to be honest. Very, very tricky indeed. Real high potential for getting some adhesive contamination onto the glasswork, so be extra careful, folks. And then here, finally putting your closed canopy option in, or your open. I'd like to have a play with that though, see how it actually fits. It'd be interesting to have a go with it, even if I didn't go for the open canopy. And then you get your propeller and your spinner being built up, and then finally just adding on. It mentions adding on the decals in the final stage, which is kind of odd, but anyway. And then the cannons go on the wings and the pitot, etc. And that's it done. Then we have got our colour callouts, not in colour sadly, and the decals and the stencil guide as well. Kagoshima, Kasanohara Airfield, Kagoshima Prefecture, July 1944. So this is defending the mainland by the sound of it, this one. What was the other one? The other one's on Guam in 1944. Wouldn't recommend that. That's going to be an action, I can guarantee you. Anyway, yes, it's very nice, isn't it? I thought that those instructions were, on the whole, were really excellent, actually. Yeah. Yes, I think that they've done those instructions really rather well, to be fair. A big improvement already on the previous one we saw. So, we're going to have to cut all these bags open. I'm still a bit nervous about these separate unitary sections. And it's like the slide mold. Okay, the slide mold of them. That's interesting. How have they done that? Is that stapled? No, it isn't. Right, let's have a look at the decals first. There's my ruler. Get the old ruler out. We'll get rid of that, I think. It's a bit excessive on this one anyway. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at what we got. Interesting, they put it in a bag, they don't put any tissue with it. Okay. Oh, and it's actually a bit silly, because they've actually got a little bit of damage on the decal just from the fact it's been forced in the bag. Don't forget this is travel from Australia to me as well in the UK, but this is really down to the manufacturer's fault, because they've really, see what I mean, they've gone and can see the imprint almost there of some of the parts that have been behind it in the bag. I'm sure that decal won't have been damaged by that ultimately. You know, it'll go down and just disappear that, but it's just imprinted the back of the card. Not ideal. But those decals do look beautiful, much nicer than the Eduard ones. Colour wise, sharpness, you know, lack of carrier film excess. Perfect. Then we have, these are the bits that are these additional reinforced, how did they describe it? Where's the description again? Heat shields. So these little squares are the heat shields. Let's zoom right in on this. I don't know if you can get this. Can you see these little squares? They're the heat shield element to stop it melting, because they've developed an exhaust which gives thrust. And it's a bit like a Formula 1 car where you see these silverised heat shield areas. Very similar to that really, isn't it? Very clever stuff for 1944. Then we've got the ventral drop tank, which looks very, very nice indeed. So that's that. Yeah, I'm not really keen on that. I'm not terribly keen on putting those decals back in with those parts. I think we're going to separate them. Get a bit more sensible. I really do. So let's put that to one side. Let's open this one then. We've got a bit of a focus problem today. There we go. Let's have a look at these. And this is where we've got some rather interesting, what appear to be slide moulded parts. Could be wrong, but it looks like it. Let's empty them out. And you see what I mean? You've got a complete section to avoid seams. Beautifully conceived. I've got to say, it's a great idea. So we've got an entire tube basically here. For sure that must have been slide moulded. Complete tube. All you've got to do is snip, 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 and you've got no seam to avoid any horrible seams on the... And they are quite thin contact points as well. They've done it really cleverly. Very well conceived. And here, how does it go? It goes that way, doesn't it? It goes like that. Well, do you know what? I'm so intrigued. To zoom you back, so I'm a bit too zoomed in here. I'm so intrigued by this, I'm actually going to do something I wouldn't normally do. To get my snippers, I'm going to cut off the little pip where it was mounted to the sprue. Because just bear with me, because this is going to be worth it. Trust me, it'll definitely be worth it. Whoops, Jeremy Clarkson, we don't know you. Me, model making on camera. Just going to remove a little bit of that excess. I'm building on the camera again. Tut, tut, tut. Really? Me? Who, me? Right, now then, I wanted to do that because I want to see how well they go together, which is going to fascinate me. Oh, they've done this rather well. Let's zoom you in. Put my display away. I should have used God hand, shouldn't I, really? It'd been Japanese. That would have been more appropriate. Wasn't the cleanest cut either. I think they're getting a bit worn out, the display ones. Right, but let's have a look. So these have all been slide moulded separately, it seems. Now let's have a look at how good it is then. Move that out of the way. It's a bit of focus trouble. So, do this. Oh, that's good. That's good, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah, they've got it on a natural panel line. And there's an actual panel line with a load of rivets to max it out. I'm sure that if I clean that up a little bit more, that would fit even better. There we go. Look at that. So you end up with no seams and no nonsense. What a brilliant design that is. Yes, we are impressed. We are impressed. Yeah, the front's a bit different. Okay, sorry, zoom back. Just sorry for my indulgence there, but I thought it was worth you seeing that. So this is why fine moulds have this reputation for precision, because that's really been done very well. A little bit more clean up by me on that cut I've just made, because I think it might just be causing a slight imperfection. But the way that they've joined it on the natural panel line, where there's a load of rivets, it looks absolutely perfect. Look at it on that side as well, absolutely perfect. Look at it. It's like I've glued it and I haven't. Brilliant. We are impressed. Okay. So, yeah, Darren, if you're watching, I'm sure you will be, this is going very well. So we like that then, we like that. So that's our slide moulded rear section, slide moulded outer mid section of the fuselage. Then we've got this, this is where the gun, again, a bit more slide moulding I think, where the gun exits are, and this again looks very high precision indeed. Look at this. See the gun exit? Holes for the guns. Yes. That is very nice. So that's another win. Then we've got these bits of the flaps. And those are nice as well. We've got lovely detail on the panel. Riveting. Look at that. Love it. Very impressed. All good so far. I think for this scale they're doing it very, very cleverly. So I'm going to put all those in there instead. I'm going to find another home for that one somewhere else. So that's that one. Then we've got the clear parts. The clear parts. Are you ready for this? Oh, the clear parts. Are we going to? This could. We need to all lose it. This could make or break this kit, quite frankly. Oh, I always get nervous when I get onto clear parts because this is where things tend to go wrong. Let's hope that fine moulds, being so clever as they have with that other bit, have done it well. Let's have a look. It's a bit tricky. Right. Okay. Now, I have to be honest and say it's not as strong as on some other kits. There's a couple of panels here that don't look too special. And then there's other parts that look really great. That's really strange. There's quite a bit of variance within it. If we use the cloth test, which I tried in another review, a bit crude, but it works very well. Try this, see what you think. I was looking at that and I didn't think it was very clear at all. I'm talking clarity now. And I'm looking at this part here, this one. It does lack clarity. Now it's not so much distortion, which is what the clear cloth usually helps us with. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky at this scale, I've got to be honest. It's not because they're not very big. But there we go, get the focus right. Now we can see any distortion, and there is quite a bit. It's not as good as you know, the likes of ICM or Tamiya or whatever. I think it's a bit more, kind of reminds me of Hasegawa. That focus would help. You see? Yeah, it's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not up to 2026 standards. And this is a 2024 kit, so it's fairly recent. It's not up to ICM standard in 2024. 2024 ICM produced the Marauder, think about it. And yeah, it's totally superior to this, really. So, got to be honest, it's a weak point. Not terrible though, please don't misunderstand, they're not absolutely awful. These here which is for this is the one where you do the framework option. That one in particular is quite poor. It's actually quite misty. It's not really showing up on the camera. I don't think I can make it show for you, or can I? It's a bit misty looking and a bit grim. Yeah, they're not that brilliant, are they? They're not up to the standard of the latest and greatest. You know, it's not Qatari, it's not ICM. Even in fairness, some of the recent Airfix kits have been really good on clear parts. Even if they're not good in other areas. Instead about that, the better. But yeah, it's kind of good. It's like an 8 out of 10, isn't it, on the clear parts? I think 7.5 maybe. Not absolutely dire, but not its strongest suit in the kit, I don't think. Now, I think the rest of it will be fine. I have a good feeling about it. Pom pom pom. Try and get in. This is the last bag. Got quite a few sprues, big ones. Plenty to see still. Right, now then. Oh, this is more like it. This is more like it. This is lovely. Where's my zoomer? This is going to be more your cup of tea. Look at this. The detail here is gorgeous. Proper detail. Look at the panel lines and the riveting there. Isn't that nice? Oh, really, really good. And then there's the top wing here. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. You've got your ailerons here, you've got your tail here. And then we've got these exhaust shrouds. Thrust producing exhaust shrouds, hopefully. So they say. Not convinced somehow. Not sure how much of a rocket power that gives them. Don't know. Otherwise everybody had been doing it, wouldn't they? It's like Formula 1, when there's a good idea they copy each other. And I'm sure some of these got captured and they didn't copy it, did they? Not that I'm aware of anyway. If you know differently, shout up by all means. But here's the fine Moulds ace in the hole. It's not the fine, it's not called fine Moulds for no reason, you know. It's just moved and it's sprue there. Careful. But aren't they nice? They are crisp, aren't they? This one feels a bit crisper than the other one, the Habu. The moulding feels a bit more like Tamiya, I'd say, this one. The other one was a bit more Hasegawa-ish, I felt. A bit too soft. But here you've got some, it's almost ICM standard, isn't it, this? Look at that. All those cylinders and the push rod, rings of push rods. And here's the exhaust manifold. Huh! Here you've got your machine guns, or the cannons. Are they cannons or machine guns? Machine guns, I think. Yeah, the machine guns that mount on the nose, that is. There you got that very questionable seat full of holes. It'll be full of more holes when the American P-38s catch up with it. It'll be riddled like a colander, it will. Shouldn't say that, should I? Not funny. But you know what I mean, it's true. Yeah. It's nice spray. And you've got the horizontal stabilisers with the elevators there. Grand. Very nice. Just to flip it on the other side so you can see the inside of the wheels. They wait on wheels? No, they're not. No, they don't seem to do that, fine Moulds, do they? It's fine Moulds 2024. In some respects it seems bang up to date, but it just lacks, I think just those clear parts, they just let it down a little bit. But otherwise the detail's amazing. Got all the little extinguisher bottles here, look. Huh. Fantastic. Well, that's that one. And then finally, oh no, not finally. Oh, I've got something special to show in a minute. I think it's going to end on a high, this review. I've just seen something very interesting. Anyway, this is the sides of the cockpit, the interior of the cockpit wall, where you've got to, these are all the lugs of course here, they're going to be cut off because they're trying to avoid ejector pins. That's good thinking, excellent, very very good. All the way up, other side, all the controls are there, fantastic. Spin it back this way, you've got your spinner and prop, the front of the engine there, and the nose where the drive shaft is, prop shaft. A couple of little fillets there. This is the front bit, of course, the sort of forward bulkhead where the guns are on the nose. That is really nice, isn't it? There's some really fine parts here. As I say, it's not called fine moulds for no reason. They are fine, aren't they? Beautiful. It's a nice kit, this. Just wish those clear parts had been a fraction better. However, so that is that the last one? No, there is one more sprue. Something that I did not anticipate, because it was all written in Japanese. I didn't realise, so just bear with me one second while I get these out. I'm going to just going to end this on a bit of a high note, I think, because what I did not appreciate was that framework that I was grimacing about and thinking it's like a nightmare. It's 3D printed. 3D printed. Or is it? Was it just, maybe it's not 3D. No, it's just slide moulded. It's got a bespoke slide mould. Look at this. I like this. I'd like to do it this way, just for the experience of building up the actual framework. So this means you can spray all this in whatever colours inside and outside that you want, and then you assemble the glass. Now it's going to be very fiddly and very, very require massive care. But isn't that nice, the framework? So it's not actually 3D printed, it's polystyrene. Yeah, it even says PS on the back, look. See that? PS. It looked like 3D printing, but it's still ending on a high for me, because this has been done very, very cleverly. And I'm sure the mouldings for this were slide moulded and therefore would not be cheap anyway. Tooling for it, no way. So look at this, here's the rest of it, look at that! This I like. Now I'm not sure about the practicalities of actually building it, of course, because it's going to be super risky, super fiddly. But I think you've got to go for it and at least have a play with it. Because if you mess it up, to be honest, if you make an absolute horlicks of the job, you can always swap it over. Because they're providing a glass version as well, so you know, you can have it, you can take the risk. It's not your only option, it's not, the stakes are not that high. But isn't it nice? So there's your framework for your canopy. Well, that's really good, that's really good. Well, this has ended in a way that I didn't anticipate. Obviously it was explaining that this was separately done, you know, but they've executed it better than I expected, if I'm honest. So the only letdown really has been the clear parts. I think they are a little bit disappointing. They're not terrible, they're not terrible. It's only going to lose quarter of a point, I think. But the instructions are good, because they've got some proper explanations and history this time. They've done, and the English also sounds like English, do you know what I mean? Not Jinglish or Chinglish. Japanese or Chinese version. Right, so I am going to now pop that in there and give my verdict. So I can see why Darren said, listen mate, this is very detailed, you should definitely review it. I can see why he said that, absolutely I can. I'm going to give it 9.75. It would have been 10 if the clear parts are a little bit better. I've still not put it all the way, have I? If the clear parts had been a bit more superior, it could have been a 10, because a lot of it is beautifully done and merits a 10, and I certainly think it's more impressive than the Edward version. I really do. Yeah, all Edward seem to do to me is they have a lot of fine finesse on the things like the riveting, but they don't spend as much time as they should on making the kit making sure that it goes together properly. So that's my verdict, 9.75 out of 10, and probably the nicest ear I've seen yet in 48 scale, actually. And I've done the Tamiya one, reviewed it I mean, and I've built the Edward one, and I think that's probably even better than the Tamiya one, so, which is a good kit. Nothing wrong with it at all, but this is a bit more finessed, you know. Very nice. Thank you very much to Darren and Kamla. Really appreciate that. It's a very kind gesture from you. And it's very, very generous, especially with that postage shipping. Ouch. Yeah, it cost more than the kit, didn't it? Way more. It's crazy. But I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoyed seeing that, courtesy of Darren. Yeah, excellent and really enjoyable to do. That's where I'm at. Anyway, I hope you'll give me a 10 out of 10, or even 9.75. Just give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to join as a subscriber to Peter Goes Rogue, my second channel. The details are underneath in the description of this video. And we need all the support we can get there. And we do all sorts there. We do car shows, we do air shows, and, you know, planes taking off, TV programmes, cats running amok, woodpeckers, puppet shows, you name it, we do it over there. It's anything that's interesting and catches the eye, really. And I've got a very strong, small nucleus of people that seem to really enjoy it, but it's just not enough. We just need 1,000 or more to get that channel up and running. So, because I don't get paid anything for it, nothing at all, no reward at all. It's just a liability at the moment. But I enjoy doing it, and I want to do more of that type of thing. But it's only going to be practical if it gets monetarised. So please help. Please do join us as a subscriber on Peter Goes Rogue. Costs you nothing. You're not committed to anything. It just helps boost the numbers. And hopefully you'll enjoy some great entertainment. Anyway, that's it from me for now. That one's come up all the way from Australia via Japan via Australia. And very nice to have that from one of the members and viewers, you know. Much appreciated. Thanks to all of you for watching, and I hope you stay well, stay safe until I see you again in the near future. Take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.